United Kingdom is sounding the loudest alarm in years. Defense Secretary John Healy claims Russia has now moved the confrontation directly into British waters. He accuses Moscow's Yantar spy ship of entering UK zones again, and for the first time ever, targeting RAF pilots with military-grade lasers.
Clearly, anything that impedes, disrupts or puts at risk pilots in charge of British military planes is deeply dangerous. This is the first time we've had this action from Yantar directed against the British RAF. We take it extremely seriously.
Massive underwater infrastructure, cables and pipelines, Healy says all of it is now at risk. Healy says this is no routine naval movement. He names Russia's secretive deep-sea sabotage directorate, gugi, and warns it is building capabilities to cripple NATO infrastructure in conflict.
This is the second time in a year that it's entered UK waters. It is part of a Russian fleet designed to put and hold our undersea infrastructure and those of our allies at risk. It isn't just a naval operation, it's part of a Russian program driven by what they call the Main Directorate of Deep Sea Research, or gugi. And this is designed to have capabilities which can undertake surveillance in peacetime and sabotage in conflict.
Healy says Britain is preparing military options if Yantar alters course again. He claims Russia has raised the stakes not only in Ukraine, but directly against NATO members.
I have changed the Navy's rules of engagement so that we can follow more closely, monitor more closely the activities of the Yantar when it's in our wider waters. We have military options ready should the Yantar change course. I'm not going to reveal those because that only makes President Putin wiser.
The UK calls this a new era of Russian aggression on land, sea and underwater. Moscow rejects every accusation. Russia's ambassador to London, Andrei Kelin, calls Britain a historic geopolitical rival and says London is exaggerating the threat for political survival.
Britain is a traditional geopolitical rival. Its official representatives say they are participating in military operations in Ukraine, not officially, directly, but through their special services and advisors and so on and so forth. Moreover, recently, British officials have been constantly talking about a threat from us, that supposedly we will attack this island tomorrow and wash it away somewhere in the ocean. And this is happening because Britain is now, frankly speaking, officially the main beneficiary of the situation in Ukraine. This country in particular does not want a peaceful resolution to the conflict and has declared as much and is ready to manipulate the current Kiev leadership and, accordingly, prolong this conflict.
For Moscow, London is the provocateur, not the victim. Kelin warns that British intelligence is destabilising the conflict through reckless covert operations, pushing Europe closer to a wider confrontation.
British intelligence is playing with fire, because if, God forbid, they really had hijacked it, it would have been a very serious event, practically a pretext for war, because Romania is a NATO country. This would probably be extremely, well, I mean, they don't even understand what they're doing. So, in reality, we're probably walking on the edge.
Moscow says the UK does not realise how close it is to triggering a wider war. Russia also mocks the UK's military capability. Kelin says London is far behind Moscow in advanced weapons and is inflating the Russia threat to justify massive spending.
Indeed, practically everyone is lagging behind us in this area. The United Kingdom, the United States, and every other country are among them. The British are also working on their own developments, although they're still far from achieving results, according to their statements, and expect to have their first hypersonic missile by 2030. Nevertheless, I would say that, contrary to common sense, London continues to increase its military budget and uses it for procurement.
Moscow says the UK is manufacturing fear to mask its internal failures. London and Moscow are now locked in a dangerous mirror war of accusations. Britain says Russia is escalating underwater sabotage, blinding RAF pilots and pushing towards a NATO confrontation. Russia says the UK is already fighting inside Ukraine, guiding Kyiv, provoking conflict and inflating fear for political advantage. Two nuclear powers accuse each other of destabilising Europe. The line between war and shadow war is blurring fast.